Welcome back, guys. So the day we've all been waiting for, the Sega Genesis Mini has arrived. Join the 16-bit revolution. I've really been looking forward to this. You guys know I really love these little mini consoles. And is this one going to do it for me? Well, we're going to find out today. So we're going to unbox this little fella, take a look at it and talk about a few things. I do have some future videos coming up as well concerning this system that I think will be pretty interesting. But here's the box, 40 classic games plus 2 bonus titles. You get that little Darius and Tetris, which I don't know how many people are really excited for Tetris, but there you go. Teen, blood and gore. Now, the one thing I do want to point out, and was the first thing I noticed with this box, is that the packaging is really cheap. The cardboard they used is extremely thin. Now, some people will be like, well, who cares? Like, that's not a big deal. For some people who are collectors, it could be a big deal. This thing is pretty flimsy as far as packaging goes. Mine was actually the corner down here. I don't know if you could see it. I already fixed it, but like the flap was bent, folded over. So I had to like open it up from the bottom and fix the flap. Kind of see it's a little bulgy right there, but it's very thin compared to, you know, the packaging of all these other classic consoles out there. So just wanted to point that out. This is a very, very thin box. Not a huge deal. I mean, what do we care about? We care about the game inside. I just had to bring that up. Oh, we do got a little power plug. Nice. No Sega branding on it, but it's a plug. That works. What else do we got? We have our USB cable to power it up, and that is branded Sega. Really cool. And we do have our HDMI. HDMI, no branding or anything. It's all good. Sega Genesis Mini. Instructions. Let's take a look at that. Just some basic stuff. Plug this bitch in and start playing in a few different languages. Really just a page and a half of instructions. No biggie. Get back over here. You're the star of the show. We don't care about the manual. The packaging is definitely different. There's no like real inner tray like the other systems, but yeah, this is like, the box is really thin. We got to get beyond that. Who cares? Just a box. Open up one of these controllers. We do get 2 of them. Wow. That feels good. So there's the controller. Let's take a look at the thing that we really care about. Oh, look at this. Look at her. Look at her. Let's get this plastic off. Awesome. Fake volume slider. Reset button. No, I'm like trying to open the side right here like a weirdo because I'm used to the Megapi case where it opens on the side. There's our USB ports, controller 1 and controller 2. Our expansion slot. That's really for nothing. Which we do have the little mini tower of power we're going to be doing another video on. Stay tuned for that. HDMI, DCN. Really awesome. So what's next? Let's plug this thing in and play some games. Check it out. See what the user interface. I haven't watched anything concerning this. So this is all new to me, but wow. Yeah. The detail on this little sucker is really good. Let's compare it to the Megapi case real quick. So here's it next to the Megapi case, which this thing actually feels heavier than this. This thing's got a Pi in it and everything going on. But yeah, this is like double the weight of the Sega Genesis Mini. but it's just slightly smaller. But you see the details are pretty similar, other than, you know, this flap opens and the side over here opens for your SD card slot. That's why I was trying to grab that there for some dumb reason, just because I'm so used to this thing. But there you go. Let's go ahead and plug this little guy in and take a look. Bonus content. So I figured, you know, we're going to take a look at some gameplay and the user interface and everything in a second here. But I think it'd be kind of interesting to tear this thing down. So let's go ahead and do that. I've already taken out a couple screws. So we're going to fast forward through this process because, I mean, it just depends on the you know, the actual screwing that's going on or unscrewing. But yeah, let's fast forward and check out what's on the inside. Okay, I think we got all the screws out, unless there's something hidden somewhere. Oh wow, there's that. Here's the top piece, our, you know, all our buttons and whatnot. Got a heat sink on there. There's a little heat sink, and there's the inside. There's a screw right there that I missed. Man, I could have broke it. So there she is. What do we got here? Side A. There, try to get you a little close up of the chipset. Make of that as you will. I'll probably try to look up some of the components here, see what we got going on, but there it is for your viewing pleasure. I don't see any Sega branding. Side A, side B. Yeah, I'm not really seeing any Sega branding on the board, which is all right. But there we go. All right, that's enough of the bonus content for now. Let's go ahead and play some games. Check out the user interface. Let's do it. Okay, guys, so we've got the Sega Genesis Mini popped into the G-Story case, a little portable case, so you could take this thing on the go. I like this case. I think it's neat, so we're using it for this video, just kind of demonstrate things and talk about the controller a little bit, that kind of stuff. So first boot up, you're greeted to some language options. I speaks the English, so that's where we're going. That's our choice. You get a little music playing in the background. I think it's like a little mismatch of the soundtracks from the games, but here we go. I'm not going to read off all the games. We've gone through this list multiple times, but there we go. The interesting stuff that's on here, I would say, for me anyway, is going to be stuff like Castlevania Bloodlines, Contra Hardcore, what else? Darius, Monster World 4. Like, nobody asked for Virtual Fighter 2, seriously. Mega Man The Wily Wars, that's cool. Dynamite Heady, that's interesting. Tetris, it's neat that it's there, but I don't think I'll ever really jump into it. I'll try it out. Alicia Dragoon, that's one I was looking forward to checking out. So let's take a look at some of the options. I did switch to captured footage just to make things a little easier to look at. You know, I do like that G-Story case, portable monitor. It's a lot of fun being able to play these systems on the go. If you want to take a look at that, link will be in the description. I have done a review on that in the past. I dig it. But going forward here, we can sort our games by release date, A through Z, genre, and number of players. So I like release date because you kind of see the evolution of the box arts here, where you get down to the red stripes, except for the bonus games, obviously. The one that I always find kind of funny is Vector Man, because it was like a foil cover, and it's like they just use a scan of it instead of re-rendering it, so it kind of looks darker than it should. The Sega logo is harder to see. You still have that play to win $25,000 contest promoted on there, and the bonus CD for Comic Zone. Don't come with no CD. What? But there is that. So you can sort by those options and settings. Please read this, just like some, hey, if you're sensitive to lights and flashing imagery, be careful. Screen settings, we have normal aspect ratio, or you can stretch this bish out. It's up to you. Nobody's judging. I mean, I'm not. You guys know that. Wallpaper settings, we have this goofy speaker one that I don't really care for. We have this one, which is okay. And then we do have this black one. I think I would prefer just using that, but I'm gonna leave it to this for now. Oh, and the one thing I forgot in screen settings, we do have a CRT filter. I don't typically use those. I don't like the way they look on modern displays, but you press the C button and you get that. Staff credits, legal notices, reset the factory settings. No biggie. So let's check out a couple games real quick. Darius is one I'm interested in taking a look at. So it does tell you if you hold the start button down, you can like save state, load state, that kind of thing, reset the game, exit back to the menu. You have to hold the start button for 5 seconds. Takes freaking forever, or at least it feels like forever. I wish they would have done something with like a different hotkey, like press up and start, and it goes back to it, just to, you know, because I'm impatient, that kind of thing. And I suck at this game, sorry. But you can press the reset button on the system, and it takes you straight to that menu. Now, as far as my impressions go, I have played this a little bit more before I started recording this captured footage, just to kind of have a better idea with some things. The controller, I'm in love with this 3-button controller. I know a lot of people want the 6-button controllers, and I know Retrobit sells them at an additional cost, so some people are disappointed with that. You know, it's an extra cost to get what you want. But the 3-button controller, for the most part, you know, these games are fine. I mean, to play Street Fighter 2 with a 3-button controller is boo-boo. So, I mean, I won't be doing that. But the buttons feel good. The D-pad's feeling great. It's just my skill in this game sucks. So, I mean, there is that. We're going to go to the reset menu here. You can save state, load state, lock it by pressing the C button so nobody can mess with your save state. But yeah, this controller's working fine. It feels good. I know the one thing some people will talk about is going to be input latency and stuff like that, lag, right? And that's just kind of a given. I mean, it's kind of a blown out thing that everybody always talks about, and it's fine to talk about. I mean, it's an issue. But, you know, with current generation gaming, we have input lag. With emulation, we have input lag. It's kind of a thing you're not really getting away from unless you're playing old school systems on a CRT. So I don't think the input lag that I'm experiencing on this system will really bother anybody, because I barely even notice it. It doesn't bother me whatsoever, just being honest. Some games that I'm extremely familiar with, I will immediately notice if there's input lag. Games like that I've played to death, like Super Mario Brothers 1, Super Mario World, that kind of stuff. You know, I didn't have a Sega Genesis growing up, but I was exposed to it quite a bit with friends who had one. And I played the crap out of Sonic, Streets of Rage, you know, Golden Axe, that kind of thing. And whatever input lag, the latency we have with this, it does not bother me. It feels fine. I know the other thing a lot of people have brought up is the delay in sound, which is unfortunate. It is there. It's like 11 frames from what I've heard and seen people talk about and evaluate. And I can notice, yeah, there's a slight delay. It's not crazy for most people. It's not even going to be noticeable. If you haven't played Sega Genesis in like 20 years, I mean, you're not going to notice it. If you haven't played it in a few years, you probably won't notice it. I'm not really noticing it that much. Yeah, with the coins, there's a tiny slight delay in Sonic, or the rings. They're not coins, they're rings, damn it. It's there, but it's not extreme. I think this is a great option for people who are either collectors or just want to re-experience a handful of games from their past, you know, if they were Sega fans. That's why I really dig these things, these mini consoles, because it's an official product. Most of them have been done fairly well, except for the PlayStation Classic, let's be honest here. But this option, the Nintendo options, these are really cool. I think they're really neat. This one in particular, you know, they've done some things a little differently, but also at the same time, a vast majority of the games listed on here have been available over and over and over again, you know, with compilations that Sega's put out. They haven't been shy about letting us have access to some of our favorite Sega games. They're out there. If you want to play with something that is pretty much a one-to-one clone of the original controller, boom. decently done by M2. Sure, there's a few little issues here with the sound and whatnot, but I think overall the presentation is great. Everything functions very well. I'm really happy to have this. Oops, I always do that with Sega games. Like, I'm never accustomed to the buttons. I'm always like pressing like the special by accident. But yeah, I think a lot of people are really gonna dig this. You know, it's cool that Sega, you know, put this out. Hopefully, you know, they do some other stuff. I would love to see a Sega CD attachment that actually works. 32X would be great as well. I mean, they don't even have to go all crazy with it. You know, reasonable cost add-ons to this, where you can, you know, almost like the fake one that they put out, but actually plugs in. You just plug it in from that instead of the Sega Genesis Mini. You can just have it attached to it. Have a little handful of games, a reasonable price. You know, I've always said I wish they would make these mini consoles as like a virtual console that had like a Wi-Fi connection. That way you can like access a store, buy a handful of games, that kind of thing. I think it's a missed opportunity, but you know, that would have been really awesome. So in the future videos I have coming up for the Sega Genesis Mini, we're going to be looking at controller options. I do have the Retro Fighters Genesis Mini controller that is coming out pretty soon. Got a little early release version of that. We will be taking a look at the 8-bit wireless controllers that are coming out for this. A few other options as well. I do have the Japanese version of the Sega Genesis Mini coming in, so we'll take a look at that tomorrow. And I have the plastic Tower of Power. We'll take a look at that as well. So I have a few accessories and options, some cool stuff, I think. You know, we'll probably stream this system as well. I'm really digging it. Can't wait to get some wireless controllers for this thing. That's going to be big for me to be able to just, you know, be able to play it a little more comfortable wherever the hells I want without being attached to a wire. You know, those 8-bit controllers, they are up for pre-order. 25 bucks comes with the dongle, so you can attach that bad boy and just play from whatever distance. And those are the M30s, and they're pretty damn awesome. So I'm actually really excited to check those out. That'll be pretty cool. If you want to pre-order those, link will be in the description. So there we go. You know, I can't play every single game here, but we probably will stream pretty soon, checking out some more stuff. So far, emulation looks good. Everything's sounding all right to me. Controller's good. I'm digging it, man. I'm happy I bought this thing. So really do appreciate you guys hanging out with me. With that said, I will catch y'all next time. Peace out, bubble eyes, and boom. Shuriken to the head. Damn it. Bye.